Who are your biggest inspirations in life? Okay, biggest inspirations. I mentioned him before. Gary Vaynerchuk, definitely. Tyler, the Creator, I love him because he literally gives zero shits. Eminem, for a similar reason to why I like Tyler, the Creator. I like things which make me really feel. Regardless of what the emotion is, I like feeling emotion. Eminem is somebody who does that with his songs. Another big inspiration is Sacha Baron Cohen. He's the guy who played Bruno, Borat, Ali G, and more. He's just got such balls. Like, it's nuts what he does. There's a common theme here. There's a common theme with the people that I take inspiration from, and it's that they have something which they like doing and they just don't give a shit about people who try to stop them doing it. And those people can be the people on the street that laugh at them, trying to make them feel uncomfortable, or it could be people who actively try to stop what they're doing. Point is, they have a goal and they reach it regardless of what people think. That's what I take inspiration from. Hugh, that was a good question, thank you. Robert says, what is it that you want to do? What is your dream? My philosophy since year 8 has been to work my absolute arse off with whatever I'm doing so that when the time comes, I have a lot of options and doors to choose from. At the moment, I'm going onto YouTube, as you know, which for me is a way of opening even more doors. So when it comes to exactly what it is that I want to do, what the dream is to just be able to do my own thing. And I don't know exactly what that is yet. I'm still like a baby, I'm still 20, so I'll find out exactly what I want to do, but until then, I'm doing what I currently want to do, which is making videos and graduating, and I'm doing it in a way which continues to open doors. Next question, who is your biggest inspiration to start vlogging? You guys aren't going to know this. You all think it's Casey Neistat, but it's not. It's Gary Vaynerchuk. He will kick you into gear. If you need a source of motivation, just look at his videos. What's the best thing that's ever happened to you since you became a YouTuber? My friend pranked me. This wasn't a good thing, this was a bad thing, but it's come up in my head. So I was in Berlin. This must have been like 2 weeks after I started daily vlogging, and she was like, oh my god, you're Joe, right? And I was like, wait, what? She's like, you're on YouTube. And I was like, this isn't, wait, huh? Eventually I was like, okay, God, wait, maybe she actually does recognize me from YouTube. And then I see his phone around the corner and he'd been pranking me the whole time. Not cool, man. Other than Fitzwilliam, which college would you deem the best? In terms of like friendliness, I really like Claire. In terms of architecture, I'm a massive fan of John's. It's stunning. Kezzy asks, who is your favorite friend? Josh, I'm joking. Delilah. Richie says, oh my god, Joe, how do you feel about hitting 1,000 subs? Congratulations. Okay, this is a really interesting one because obviously I was like psyched. I was like, oh my god, what's happening? Because I've only been on this platform for 3 months, yet I've got over 1,000 people who have voluntarily clicked subscribe to receive content from me. If I'm being completely honest, I'm a bit worried about it. The main reason is, throughout the entirety of Berlin and for the past couple of weeks in Cambridge, we've been building some kind of community online. I know for a fact that I'm not just speaking to a camera, I'm speaking to you because you are somebody who's probably commented on my videos before. As my channel grows and people click subscribe, I feel as if a smaller percentage of people actually interact, and I'm very worried that I'm going to be back to stage 1 of me uploading a video, not getting many comments, and then me feeling like I'm just speaking to a camera. And I don't really want that to happen. On the other hand, getting to 1,000 subscribers is awesome. Yeah, we're growing quick. It's a bit scary. Richie asks, are you afraid of finishing college? No, I don't think so. I'm currently in the process of experiencing graduating. Even though I'm not there yet, this is kind of how I deal with things. This is how I prepare myself for like big, potentially emotional events. I feel the emotion throughout. I live through that experience. I think about things a lot in my head, so that when I get there, it's kind of an anticlimax sometimes. I don't mean that in a bad way. What I mean is that when I get to one of these events, i.e. finishing school, I've kind of already lived that moment a number of times in my head. My favourite YouTubers are Casey Neistat. Do you think you'd be more or less confident with your creativity had you not gone to Cambridge? Interesting question. I think one of the bad things about Cambridge is that everybody is so set on a particular path, and that path is usually to get a professional internship in a corporate sphere and then do a job, which explains my video last week about not wanting to go down that route. I think when you're in an environment where everybody conforms and wants to do a certain thing, if you have the ability to break out of that and to do something different, that builds a ton of confidence in you, and I think that's kind of what's happened. My friend Lucy was telling me a story about this guy the other day who represents your typical guy or gal or person who is 30 years old and for the past 10 years has hated every moment of his job. He wishes he was 20 again so he could do his own thing. Realises that life is more than just work. Realises that on a Sunday evening he doesn't want to be depressed knowing that he's going to work the next morning. He realises that he doesn't want to spend the entire week praying for the weekend. Sorry, I'm not doing that. I'm just not doing that. There are so many of these people and they say the same thing over and over again. I understand that I'm in an exceptionally privileged position to be able to get a great university degree and then just leave and do whatever I want, and I'm not going to waste that. One of the main questions I was contemplating before starting this vlog was, if I don't start this vlog, will I regret it in a few months' time or a year's time? And the answer was yes. So I did it. I had to. I'm very bad at answering these questions directly. I'm aware of that, I'm sorry. Do I think I would have been more or less confident with my creativity had I not gone to Cambridge? I don't know, I really don't know. What made you so passionate about choosing Cambridge? So in year 7, when I started school, I wasn't working too hard, I was having fun with friends. And in year 8, when people got put into sets based on their academic abilities, I was put into bottom set, like legit 6 out of 6. And I realised straight away that I didn't want to be there, so I went to the head of year and I was like, I can definitely work harder than this, I need to be pushed more. And he was like, I mean, that's fine, but you need to show us that. Over the course of the next like 3-4 years, I was moving from set 6 to set 5 to set 3 to set 2, and then like I think during that journey, that was when I really started to take every single opportunity possible. I was really going for things. By the time I got to applying to universities, the idea of actually going to Cambridge, like the University of Cambridge, was just mind-boggling. Like I could never do it, I knew I would never do it, like it was never a thing that I really contemplated. Then we had a massive year group assembly where the heads of our years were like, okay, and we have a special group of people who want to apply to Oxbridge. Certain students were already put into that group because they had the academic abilities and they were kind of expected to go to Oxford or Cambridge, or at least to try to go to Oxford and Cambridge. I wasn't put in that group. A lot of my close friends at the time were like, I'm going to apply, why not, just try it. And I was just like, whoa, yeah, I could never do that, like I wouldn't ever do that. And it felt pretty bad, but yeah, I just didn't have the confidence to put myself forward. Like putting yourself forward to apply to something which just seems so out of your depths is so bloody difficult to do. I eventually decided that I would go and join this Oxbridge group so that I could hear more information about applying to Oxford or Cambridge. And when I actually joined the group, there were around 30 of us, we were doing practice questions, and the guy leading the session looked at me and goes, okay, you're a geographer, answer this question. He gave me a question. I was disgracefully nervous, like so bloody nervous. I remember I started speaking and I was just mumbling and saying the same things over and over again. I was like, Birmingham tried to rid itself of negative perceptions and then all the ridding itself as negative perception. That was literally what I sounded like, right? Person by person, one by one, I saw everybody turn their face like this so that they could laugh. For me, seeing that, I was like, yeah, this isn't for me. I'm here trying to answer a question and I've got people turning the other way so that they can laugh because my answer's so shit. And I was like, yeah, see ya, I'm done, no way. I left the group straight away. I was like, yeah, that's not happening, not a thing, I'm not going. Eventually, again, I don't know what it was, but eventually I decided, you know, screw them, literally screw them. I'm going to apply for this. I'm not embarrassed to say I'm applying for Cambridge. I want to be in a place where I'm surrounded by other people who are genuinely inquisitive and curious and want to learn more about the world, and I want to go to Cambridge. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, who cares? Don't care, I'm applying for it. Sorry, that was a very long-winded answer about your question, but to finally answer it properly, what made you choose Cambridge and why were you so passionate about Cambridge? I just knew that for me, you know, working my arse off from being in the lowest sets possible at school to going to Cambridge University, like that would just be nuts. This next question is from Instagram and it goes as follows. How do you manage stress at uni when you want to do well but you worry about the amount of work thrown at you, etc, etc? Personally, I like to go a bit crazy. I like to go to the gym, do a lot of exercise, but at the same time I like to go super calm, and I will often cycle down to the river and I'll just sit on a pump and just sit, and I'll maybe call my mum, call my friends from back home, see how everyone's doing, and escape the bubble that is Cambridge. It does get so stressful here and it's nice to be able to escape. So my way of stress relief is either super chill or super nuts, going crazy on a run, listening to Eminem, like shouting down into my ears. But as I said, I think stress relief is something that is quite personal and you need to find out what works for you. So try mindfulness, try yoga, try going to the gym, try painting. It's different for every person. Revision is similar to stress relief in the sense that I mentioned before, in that it's very personal. So some people revise well by taking loads of notes, other people revise well from explaining concepts and articulating them to somebody else. Everyone's different. I think you really need to play around with how you work best, practice those strategies and use them. I'm really bad at answering questions properly, as you've seen, I'm sorry about that. But hey, guys, it's been great. I'm off now.